Dad. I guess sometimes you actually have to listen to your dad.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into another edition of Southwest Bias, presented to you by our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. And we are live from Studio K. Let's get the point. There we go. Brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading that Circle K app for free. Cardinals won last night, but they were not the biggest winner of Monday Night Football. They were not the biggest winner of the evening. They were not the biggest winner of the day overall. Marvin Harrison Jr. was the big winner because earlier in the day, in an article with Josh Weinfuss, he made it very clear that he wasn't happy with the way that Marv was being used in the offense. And Jr. had this to say after the game about it.
Yeah, I think everyone has their own opinions, and I think just the biggest thing is, anytime someone speaks on something, you just don't want it to be directly from the player. So it's just everyone has their own opinions, and I think in his article, he said that's how he feels, not how I feel. So I think that's just good to mention because I trust in all the guys. I know everyone works really hard, throughout the week to be successful, not only for me individually but as a team. So I think I just try to do my part, be accountable on my end, do my best to help.
Sometimes you just have to let your dad talk and trust what he's going to say is to your benefit. And my dad has taught me a lot over the years. Some things that I haven't adhered to, other things that I've taken to heart. And I know this come as a big surprise, but as a middle-aged white guy, one of the things that he passed along to me was the love of Bruce Springsteen. And the first bit of advice via my father through the boss is this lyric from the song Thunder Road. And it applies directly to Jacoby Brissett. And I think we have that on a graphic, Shane, if we can. The lyric is simply, "You ain't a beauty, but hey, you're all right." And sure, he didn't write it about Jacoby Brissett, but it applies directly to what we've seen from Jacoby this season so far in his starts. He is not a superstar quarterback, but guess what? This team does not need a superstar quarterback in this offense. They need a steady hand that is extremely confident, that believes in what he is capable of doing, and able to just do it consistently. And how about this for a stat? The last two Cardinals quarterbacks with 3 consecutive games of 200 yards passing and 2 TDs or more are Jacoby Brissett and Carson Palmer from 2015. Jacoby Brissett is not perfect. Jacoby Brissett missed guys on Monday night and has missed guys a handful of times throughout his 3 starts. He has his blemishes. There's a reason why he has not remained a starter in the NFL on a regular basis. As Charles Barkley said last night on ESPN and the Manning cast, Jacoby Brissett is the best backup quarterback in the NFL. And right now, he's a very good, not great starting quarterback in the NFL, and it seems like it's going to remain that way because the numbers he's putting up in an offense that was anemic without him are impressive. Continually in the high 200s, low 300s in passing, multiple touchdowns. Had a rushing touchdown last night, his first since 2022, which ironically enough happened in a Monday Night Football game, the last Monday Night Football game he played in. But a big thing that he did last night and has over his time as a starter has stood in the pocket no matter what the pressure is and found Marvin Harrison Jr. And Jacoby had this to say about Marvin Harrison Jr. after last night's game.
Put his pads on, showed up. I mean, once he got off the bus, I knew it was going to be open. You know, we knew we were going to get our chances outside. And, you know, and he, you know, this has been building for him, you know, and it's still a step in the right direction. But, you know, you saw it in his eyes when he got off the bus and we were in the locker room. And I'm like, Coach told me what the first couple of plays were. And he was like, we're going to switch it up and we're going to do this for Marv. And I'm like, all right. And, you know, I think I threw it to him 4 times in a row on the first drive. And I was like, I think I'm going to do this the whole game for if they keep doing it. But, you know, just super happy for him. And, you know, and I know he wants a couple more, and I do too. There's a couple things that I wanted to get to him. But, you know, just super happy for him.
He ain't a beauty, but, hey, he's damn all right when it comes to being a quarterback that's going to run the offense. He found Marvin Harrison Jr. Throughout that first half and a handful of times in the second half by executing what Drew Petzing decided to do early in the game, using those comeback routes, knowing that the Cowboys secondary was going to sit back because they'd been giving up big plays all year. And Marvin Harrison Jr. repeatedly got that ball, moved the chains, just did that consistently, had his career high in receptions last night, had one of the prettiest touchdowns we've seen by making a Cowboys defender look like a damn fool on the play. So much so that CeeDee Lamb's mouth was agape from it. Like that, this is what Jacoby Brissett can do. He can unlock certain things in this offense, and it seems like he can unlock Marvin Harrison Jr. Granted, I'm pretty sure Drew Petzing has ESPN.com and a subscription there and read that article because he came out targeting Marvin Harrison Jr. on the regular. But that's not the only bit of advice that my dad gave me over the years. And this one, after watching the Cardinals, really resonated. He told me you can't help somebody that won't help themselves. You're probably wondering, well, what are we talking about here? I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals figuring out ways to win and to help themselves rather than being the ones that are hindering themselves. They have to make that choice if they want to turn this around. Now, Jonathan Gannon had this to say about the game and the win.
Nothing, man. I mean, it's not nothing. They feel good, but they know it's a week-to-week deal. You know what I mean, Cam? It really is. So I'm proud of them for their response coming out of the bye because they came to work this week. And they always come to work, but it was intentful and it was energized, and they knew they had a good play well on Monday Night Football to beat a team that's, you know, super dangerous, good football team. But they know when they wake up tomorrow, we're going to go play a good football team again on the road. So that's what our focus will be.
These guys came locked in and helped themselves by having a good week of practice and going out there and executing. But that's not the only way that this team needs to help themselves. Monti Ossenfort has to help his guys, has to help his new starting quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, has to help the fan base feel better. And you know the way you do that? By making a move before today's NFL trade deadline. We've seen a flurry of moves already. Sauce Gardner to the Colts, multiple other moves being made as we're speaking right now. And the Arizona Cardinals need to get in on this action because it was very clear that the running game is beyond anemic right now. Bam Knight doing his best, but he and Amari DiMercato are not guys that should be number one running backs. The offensive line, it could use a little help because if not, Jacoby Brissett's going to spend more time on his back than Devin Booker does after hitting a jump shot. You're going to have to figure out a way to help, and I think you have to look at running back first. The Jets are in complete sell-off mode. So why do you not call them about Breece Hall? You've got a chance to try to get a running back who's a number one, who can help you, and who does not put you in a bad position for the future. Test him out for this year. If you like him, you can re-sign him after the year. If not, you move on. But I think you owe it to that defense that balled its ass off last night to Calais Campbell, who took a chance to come back here and try to help out that defense, who had big plays last night, to young guys like Will Johnson and Walter Nolan, who performed well on the big stage after losing 5 games in a row. This team deserves a chance to make something happen this year. Put a little faith in them after what they did last night. Are they going to be world beaters? No. Are they going to win the NFC West? No. But could they sneak into a wild card spot if they turn things around? You're damn right they could. It's a long shot, but that back half of the schedule doesn't look as daunting as it once did. And that happens a lot in the NFL. Injuries and teams that are surprisingly worse than you thought shift things. So if I'm Monti Ossenfort, I'm making calls. Alvin Kamara, is that a potential guy you could get from the Saints? The Saints are starting to sell off. Does that help you? Jacoby Brissett needs a running back to optimize even more what he can do. And it gives Drew Petzing the complete offense that he wants. Strong running game quarterback that stays in the pocket that can deliver on the kind of routes that he wants to run. You were close in a lot of games. And like we talked about, if you don't make changes, you're going to wind up doing the same thing over and over again. Well, you made a change at quarterback. Now need to add some pieces to maybe win some of those games that you wouldn't have earlier in the year. Be aggressive. Now, don't sell the farm. Don't give away multiple first-round picks like the Colts just did. But tinker on the margins. You got a third-round pick somebody wants to bite on? Sure. Now, nobody's going to trade for Kyler Murray today. Don't get too crazy here. If that's going to happen, it's going to happen in the offseason. But try to find some help in the running back room and consider if there's somebody on the offensive line that can help stabilize things a little bit more. Things have looked promising. Last night in Dallas was a pleasant surprise. Your defense held an offense in Dallas that has 2 number 1 wide receivers and had played pretty well all season. I believe they had averaged over 30 points per game. And you held them to 10 because one of those, remember, was a special teams touchdown on a block punt. So help yourself out because nobody else is going to. And if you won't, the fans might not be the ones to stay around too long. I think you deserve it and you owe it to your guys to go in. Sometimes taking the advice of your dad is the right thing to do. And I've learned that the hard way in my life. But unless the Cardinals want the NFC West to be their daddy the rest of the year, they need to make some moves now. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, a busy man today, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, Espo?
Good. Would you be
trade deadline day?
Happy trade deadline day. Would you be aggressive if you were the Cardinals right now?
I don't know if I'd trade for Breece Hall, but I also just don't like running back trades in general.
But based on how this offense is built, don't you think it's at least worth considering?
Yeah, I mean, it totally just depends on. I just feel like Breece Hall, they're going to want a third-round pick for 1-year rental or something. That's just not worth it. I don't know. I'd comb the running back market, see if there's maybe a 2 that's a borderline 1 available. It's just hard because you look at this team and they're not a running back away. The offense isn't running back away.
Well, they're not to compete for a title, but I don't want another lost season here completely. I don't want them to pack it in. And, maybe if they had lost last night, that's where your mind goes, but don't pack it in. You got to try to build on what you've done. And just because it started out rough doesn't mean you can't have a reverse of what you've seen the last few seasons where the bottom falls out in the second half. I'm not ready to completely give it away, give it up right now. They're not a running back away from winning a title, but they could be a running back away from being in the mix for a wild card spot. Makes it a hell of a lot more interesting. Takes a lot of the pressure off this team. And I think you actually have to try to figure out, can Jacoby Brissett be a stopgap the next few years while you wait for that next young quarterback to develop? And I don't think you'll be able to tell that if you have zero running game. If maybe you don't get him some help on the offensive line. You got to answer that question because that's going to be the biggest domino that's going to have to fall this offseason is who's under center, or in shotgun for this team in 2026. And I don't think you can fairly evaluate any of that if you don't have a running back when your offense is predicated on being able to run the ball too.
Yeah, I mean, it also just we don't really know the status of I'm blanking on it.
Trey Benson.
So if he's 3 weeks away, then maybe. If he's 8 weeks away,
but you could have a 1-2 punch. I mean, that's what you had with James Conner.
Bam Knight.
Bam hasn't been bad. I mean, that's true. He hasn't been bad.
Mercado looked better last night too.
Better is a low bar to cross when you actually blew a game, So it's a very low bar. Yeah, and you got to consider the defense they were playing against. I mean, that was not a good defense. So
yeah, but that also raises the bigger question about the quarterback as well.
But he's done it 3 weeks in a row.
He has.
So if it was just against Dallas, I have all those questions.
But let's say Kyler does play last night and he does the same thing, then all the fans are back on the train. Everyone's a prisoner of the moment, Espo.
But that's what we do this show 5 days a week. If we're not a prisoner of the moment, ain't gonna be very good for us here.
True.
So yeah, I think there is an opportunity here. I want to talk about one thing before we get to the other side of the program. I saw this headline and it caught my attention. No, it's not sports, but you're all gonna have to deal with me because I'm sitting here behind the mic. Yum Brands said that they're going to start a strategic review of Pizza Hut because it has been failing lately and they can't figure out why. And I have a real simple approach to this that I'm willing to give out for free. Give the people what they want. Turn Pizza Hut back into what it was in the late 80s and 90s. Give me the pizza buffet. Give me the red cups. Give me a place where I can go sit down and have a good time. Give me some arcade games in there as well. Nostalgia sells right now. Nostalgia hits hard. You already changed your logo back. Give me the restaurants back the way they were if you want to make your money. This isn't rocket science. This isn't very difficult. Just give the people back what they want and make your pizza not suck. That'd be good too. That'd be a good start. Give me that pizza back from the 90s as well. I guess that technically counts as a free ad. I'm sorry, Max, but I had to get that off my chest today. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk Suns. Also going to talk Election Day, but not in the way you think. Right after this. Have you been in an accident or suffered a serious injury? Well, you need to do your research and find a lawyer that's going to work for you because the right hire matters. And the right hire for you are Mark and Alex Breyer, the husband and wife law team. I've gotten to know them a little bit, talked to them. They are the real deal here. Phoenix is their home and where they raise their 8 children. Yeah, 8 kids, all right? And where the focus is always client results and giving back to the community. They actually care. This isn't some big firm that's just running commercials everywhere that doesn't care about Phoenix. They do because they're here. Let's face it, after a serious injury, you want to hire an attorney that's focused on your best outcome and not the money that the firm's going to make. And that's what the husband and wife law team does. The team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience and multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. And that's what you want because, of course, nobody can guarantee the outcome of a legal case. However, there are promises that the husband and wife law team are proud to make you and all their clients when it comes to their relationship. You can cancel their fee agreement at any time for any reason. You'll receive at least as much in your pocket as they receive for their fee, even if you have to reduce the attorney's fees to make it happen. So if you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. And if you're looking for a place to bank, there is another place that can take care of you. It's Mountain America Credit Union. They love the Valley as well. They've been around for decades, and they have over 1 million members. So why wouldn't you want to do your banking where all these people trust them to already? You can actually get great perks too. You can get the My Style checking account and make it your lifestyle, and you're going to enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection. Yeah, some people want to steal other people's identities. Nobody wants this one, though. Plus, loan rate discounts if you're trying to buy a home, start a business, whatever your dream is, they can help make it come true with those loan rate discounts. Plus, offers on travel, events, and more. Make my style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require a no-cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply like everything in life. All right. I want to talk a little bit of Suns because usually I'd save this for the pregame show and the postgame show on PHNX Suns. But you know what? I've got daddy duty tonight, and I'm not going to be on those shows. But I thought that I needed to at least talk a little bit about what this team's doing. Jordan Ott and the Phoenix Suns had a big win against the San Antonio Spurs on Sunday. But how do you keep that momentum going? Another creative defensive scheme tonight in Golden State against those Warriors. It's tough. It's stopping Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler. Not an easy task, even Jonathan Kuminga at this point. But what we've seen Jordan Ott do is his system, in particular on defense, is very pliable. He can figure out creative ways to help his team succeed. They got to come out and they got to bust their ass again tonight on defense. They've got to hustle, they've got to switch, and they've got to be smart. Because this Warriors team isn't young like we saw the Spurs. They're not going to be baited into making large mistakes. They're a team that you are going to have to be able to go blow for blow with tonight. The offense has to continue to make crisp passes, find the open shots, and then connect on those open shots. If you go back to missing three-pointers like you did against the Clippers, against the Nuggets, you're going to have a rough evening tonight against the Warriors. But there's hope. Devin Booker has been on a hot streak, both with his passing and with his scoring. This guy has stepped up to the plate in terms of leadership, in terms of the way he approaches the game. He's got to continue that tonight. Royce O'Neal, I got to see him hit those threes continually. Can't back off on that. Grayson Allen has to continue to be aggressive at the rim because you're not going to have Dylan Brooks. You're not going to have Jalen Green again. So you're still at a deficit. You're still shorthanded on a team that a lot of people already felt had a talent deficit. So you're going to have to do everything right again. You're going to have to stay on the offensive glass. You're not going to be able to give away second looks. You're going to have to get to the free throw line. You cannot fall back into the habits that you faced in those first few games. Otherwise, you will be in for another rough evening on the road. They're 3-1 at home, and they are 0-3 on the road right now. And that's going to be a tough task to break that tonight in Golden State. But see if they can do it. Shane, what have you made of what the Suns have kind of put on tape so far? And you think they've got another upset in them going into Golden State tonight?
I mean, it's certainly encouraging. The biggest thing, and I think we talked about this yesterday, for me is that, one, they can execute game plans, but two, less than that, they just have game plans.
Yes.
And that's something that Suns fans have not been used to over the past couple of years. So it's exciting. It was an absolute masterclass when the Spurs came to town a couple days ago. This is going to be an interesting test because it's a completely different type of defense you're going to have to play against this team. Whereas for Wemby, and the Spurs, it was size. Like that team is unbelievable size. This team can shoot the crap out of the ball and has a bunch of guys that slash and get to the rim. So it's going to be a completely different type of game plan, and I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah, there's got to be a interesting strategy that you'll apply against Steph Curry tonight. And then how do you make sure that you're guarding everybody else on the perimeter, and to your point, without giving up those easy cuts? So you got to be crisp tonight on defense, but I'm very interested in seeing the scheme that Jordan Ott comes up with. I told you we're going to talk election, but not in the way you think, because this is not a political show, nor will it ever be, because nobody cares about my thoughts on that. But I was thinking, what if there were a election for the leader of Arizona sports right now? What if there were campaigns going on for somebody to take the lead role on Arizona sports, be the czar of Arizona sports, make decisions, and he went to you, the people, to try to make this happen? I've got some slogans, Shane. I want to test out on you, if you don't mind, and I want to hear what you think. Devin Booker, if he was running a campaign, his slogan would be, "When I lay down on the job, it's a good thing."
Sure.
Do you think Devin could get some votes with that?
Sure.
I think Devin's the leader in the clubhouse with his popularity. Next one, Matt Ishbia, simple slogan, "I'll pay for it."
I don't think anybody needs to hear anything else other than that.
Gets it done, right? I'll pay for it. I'll take care of it. Corbin Carroll, "I steal bases, not elections." I feel like that is a populist message there.
Sure.
I feel like he creates chaos too, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I feel like that could win some votes here. Jacoby Brissett. He was a late person into the discussion, and his line is, "Not your first choice, but your best choice."
Yeah, that one's a little confusing to me.
Really?
Uh-huh.
He's your backup.
No,
Right now,
I get
he
it.
wasn't your first choice to be quarterback, but right now he's your best choice.
Yeah, no, I
It's
get it.
confusing you? All right, let's try Calais Campbell on for size. If he came to you with the slogan, "Old, but you can still trust me."
That implies that being old is a bad thing.
Well, some people would imply that.
In politics, you know what? Looks like it is. So
Sometimes that's the truth. So, Torey Lovello, this one's very honest, right? This cuts to the core of it. There's no bullpen to manage in politics. You can be a winner when you
are addressing your shortcomings. Though.
You are. But sometimes that's important. You got to admit to it. And then Kenny Dillingham, you might appreciate this one. It's, "I turned ASU into a good football team. Imagine what I could do with an entire state." I feel like you might actually just vote for him regardless of what he said.
Yeah, I think he could say anything.
I think so too. Killer Rex says Drew Petzing's slogan would be, "Even when I lose, I win." Killer Rex, another one. Jonathan Gannon, "I tell the truth even when I lie." That is fun. Any other? Thank you to all the bias out there. Killer Rex, Shaft, Pugs and Hugs, everybody that joined the program today. MD30, appreciate you being here as well. Just having a little fun with a topic that's going on. And I always wonder, what if sports were like other things in life? Or what if real jobs were like sports? Could you imagine having to give a post-game press conference after you submitted the budget for the 2026 fiscal year? I mean, I don't think I could imagine going up there and stepping up and answering questions. They put these athletes in a fishbowl, and then it's so different than real life. And I just think it's always interesting to turn the lens on that and wonder what it would be like. But my winner or leader in the clubhouse is probably Devin Booker. But I really think Calais Campbell has an argument to win an election to be the leader of all of Arizona sports.
I think Kenny wins in a landslide.
Does Kenny qualify age-wise? Isn't he too young? No.
He's just eligible.
Is he?
35?
He's 35? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll allow it. That's another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. A big thanks to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, always taking care of things even when he is super busy. Follow him at Shane Dief. You can follow the program at PHNX_sports. You can follow me at Espo. And remember, help yourself by making a damn trade today. Ahoy, hoy!
We all silly like the mayor.